They say the quietest places often carry the loudest memories. For me, that place has always been a weathered old bench in Central Park. Faded wood, a few cracks, and initials carved deep into its side. T+D, 1994. Those letters belonged to my parents. That bench was their meeting place, their favorite morning ritual, their space to breathe when the world got too loud. After my father passed away, I avoided that bench for months. I couldn't bring myself to face it. The thought of sitting there without him felt like tearing open a wound that never truly healed. But one autumn morning, something inside me changed. I woke up earlier than usual, made a cup of coffee, and walked toward the park. The city was still half asleep, the way my father liked it. When I reached the bench, it looked smaller somehow, lonelier. The leaves around it had turned golden, just the way he loved. I sat down, and for a moment, it felt like he was still there beside me. The same calm silence, the same comforting energy. I could almost hear his voice, low and warm, saying what he used to tell me every morning before he left for work. "Son, you never own time. You only borrow it." Back then, I never understood. I used to roll my eyes, sip my coffee, and reply, "Dad, we've got all the time in the world." But that morning, as the wind brushed through the trees and the sunlight danced on the lake's surface, I realized how wrong I was. We live like time is infinite, like tomorrow will always come, like the people we love will always be there. We rush through our days chasing money, promotions, and approval, all the while forgetting that time is slipping quietly through our fingers. We think we'll make that phone call tomorrow. We'll visit our parents next weekend. We'll start pursuing that dream next year. But time doesn't work that way. It doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It is the moment. As I sat there lost in thought, an old man walked by with a small brown dog. He paused, smiled, and asked, "Mind if I sit here?" His voice carried the same gentle strength my father had. I nodded, and he sat beside me. For a while, neither of us spoke. The silence felt comforting, not empty, but full. After a few minutes, he looked at me and said, "You know, I used to come here with my wife every Sunday. She loved feeding the birds. After she passed, I stopped coming. Took me 5 years to sit here again." His words struck me deeply. I told him about my father, about the mornings we shared, about how that bench held more than just wood and nails. It held years of love, laughter, and lessons. He smiled and said something I'll never forget. "Son, time doesn't heal everything, but it teaches you how to live with what you've lost." We talked for hours, about love, regrets, mistakes, and memories. When he finally stood up to leave, he patted my shoulder and said, "Don't just count your days. Make your days count." Those words echoed in my mind long after he was gone. That evening, I went home and opened my father's old notebook, the one I hadn't touched in years. Inside were pages filled with his handwriting, quotes, lessons, half-finished thoughts. On the very last page, in faint pencil marks, he had written, "When you stop rushing through life, you find that life has been waiting for you all along." I closed the notebook, tears blurring the words. That night, I didn't just remember my father. I understood him. He wasn't warning me about time. He was trying to teach me how to value it. From that day, I stopped waiting for someday. I started calling people I missed, spending real time with family, taking long walks without looking at my phone. I learned to watch sunsets without taking pictures, to listen without interrupting, to breathe without hurrying. Because life isn't about how many years we live, it is about how much life we fit into those years. Now, every Sunday, I visit that same bench. Sometimes I talk out loud, pretending he's still beside me. Sometimes I sit in silence, letting the wind carry my thoughts away. And sometimes I see others sitting there, strangers, couples, old friends, and I smile, because I know they re-adding their own stories to the bench that once belonged to my father. If you're listening right now, wherever you are, I want you to take a moment. Look around you. Think of the people you love, the ones you haven't called, the ones you keep telling yourself you'll visit soon. Don't wait, because time doesn't come back, and once it's gone, no amount of regret can rewrite it. Make the coffee. Take the walk. Say, "I love you" before it's too late, because one day you'll find yourself staring at an empty bench, wishing for one more morning that will never come. So take this as your reminder. Don't wait for life to begin. It's happening right now. And maybe, just maybe, that's the most beautiful lesson time can ever teach us. Thank you for listening.